Um, doing an announcement here. Let me give you guys something to look at. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just a bit camera shy. Um, you may notice this is not footage of daytime drama 2. I gotta make an announcement here, folks, and it's not gonna be my most um, proud video, but it's something I have to um, talk about. I have decided to take a break from GZ Doom modding for quite a long time. And there are several reasons for this. One, I just don't find it as enjoyable as I used to. I've been really struggling with level design as Daytime Drama 2 has indicated. My level design has kind of taken a shit. And I feel like in its current state, and even if it took me a while, I just don't have the drive to make levels like I used to. That's one of the things about my projects is they require original levels. And I'm not very keen on making those right now. I've just lost my drive. I think part of the reason I've lost my drive is a very simple one. I've been going through several changes over the past year. And I just find more and more I want to focus on playing games and instead of making them. Also, part of the reason I grown tired of DZ Doom modding in general is there's a lot of stuff I want to do with the engine, but I can't do it alone, and I can't do it without. How do I put this? I can't do it without basically putting um, a lot at stake. And what I mean by that is the engine's currently going through an overhaul. And one of my fears is due to these fundamental changes to how the engine's going, I'm not sure if I'm able to get all of the audience that I normally would have. One of the things is they're removing backwards compatibility with a lot of older graphics cards, which I understand. I get it. You know, it's meant to be a modern port, but a lot of my beta testers were using those older OpenGL versions, which are being deprecated or outright um, removed support wise. And of course, there is a vintage build for it. In fact, that's one of the great things is they have temporarily given like an old version of the renderer, but it's not. How do I put it? It's just a temporary solution. The permanent fix is encouraging people to upgrade their hardware. And I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna cause some of my beta testers to not be able to test games anymore that I'm working on using GZ Doom, and it just basically it's gonna cause me to have to look for more people that have newer hardware. Problem is, a lot of the people that were beta testers are also people I bounce a lot of ideas off of. And not only that, one of the other beta testers I have uses a Mac. And with Mac ever changing, I've heard in the newer version of Mac OS that's going to come out in September with this month, if it has, or October, I'm not sure when it's going to hit, they're actually outright deprecating OpenGL and OpenCL support, which they're still going to be there, but they're basically going to push for their own proprietary mental API to be used on Mac OS, which I've always wanted to try to maintain Mac OS support as best as I can, but it looks like it's going to be um, very difficult for me to do that. It's up to the engine developers to do that. I myself am not. I don't own a Mac, and I'm not expecting them to be able to keep support for Mac because I'm gonna be honest, and this is no disrespect to the people working for working on GZ Doom in any capacity, but I can't just expect them to be able to purchase constantly the new Mac hardware to write a like a metal API that will work with GZ Doom to maintain future capacity because we all know that once like OpenGL is that's a very standard thing, but it's now been deprecated. Yes, I know there's several problems with OpenGL, but they don't support Vulkan on Mac. So I'm kind of hesitant to invest all my time in an engine that's becoming more and more modern Windows only and modern Linux only, with Mac being harder and harder to support. And um, not only that, but with the dwindling amount of people who can help me that I can trust on certain things, it's just becoming harder to work with. But it's not just that. Mac OS support's not the only reason that I'm concerned about. I mean, even then, Linux and Windows still are the sizable majority of my user base, as it is with GZ Doom. But it's become such a mess to with certain things with Z script. Like it's a very powerful scripting language, and it does allows me to do a lot more than I ever could have done with Decorate. In fact, a lot of ACS stuff in daytime drama one has been because of has been able to be put into Z script form, and that was done very easily. Converting it was very easy. In fact, a lot of the one of the biggest problems with people are saying that Z script doesn't have any documentation. It That's what kind of prompted me to go. Well, I can't be that hard. I'm going to learn Z script to fully be able to make daytime drama kind of forwards compatible. Not that decorate's going anywhere. You can actually write Z script stuff and then add basic decorate actors on top. But you can't do it the other way around. Um, but I was thinking I just wanted people to see what the basics you can do with Z script. However, there are many things that have limited Z script. Um, for one, I haven't been able to quite figure out how to make interactive menus and how to do that. Um, One of the things I was wanting to do with Daytime Drama 2 was make it so you could play, like, at the beginning of each level, there'd be a little station that you could change your character without, going into the player menu and whatnot. Well, let's just say one level might be easier to play with another character. I haven't been able to figure out how the menus work in a way that would um, allow me to change playism in code. What I mean by that is they basically, as a means of, and I don't know why they did this. Like, I get why they did this, but at the same time, I don't. They basically made it so certain attributes within and certain variables and certain functions are only available in, say, the user interface scope and not data or play. In layman's terms, there's different scopes for different things, and the documentation for that is even more lacking. From what I understand, basically, the UI can only read certain values or put certain values if they're marked with certain things, and it's very confusing. And to be able to figure out how to do a lot of the things I wanted to do really put a damper on Daytime Dramas 2's development. And again, I'm not trying to diss the GZ Doom developers here. I know they have a lot of shit that they're working on. And unlike VR, which 4chan sub sub image board, if for those who aren't, where I'm not one of these people buying into the conspiracy theories and the fear that GZ Doom is going to fail or Graph's doing this to just to piss us off. He has his reasons. As much as I think the reasons, I can think of several reasons not to. He is the one, along with several other developers, that are working on this and not me. I am simply using the engine. However, due to this instability, in terms of I'm not sure how to use it properly, it's really put a damper on the ability to use um, certain things. And one of the things I do not get about DZ Doom, and this is the one thing where if VR has said this, they're probably somewhat right on this. I'm not trying to start any drama here, but I do not get the whole idea with them trying to maintain absolute backwards compatibility with mods that haven't been updated in years. I would think people could find ways of fixing the mods to make them work with modern. If something breaks, I'm sure they could figure out a way to break it. But instead of, say, fixing a spawn project, you know, something that spawns a projectile, they make a whole new action function for it, and it just doesn't really jive with me. I really don't care for that. I honestly think the biggest problem with the um, the engine is it's trying to maintain a modern presence. It's trying to make people adopt modern stuff, but they're focusing on the other hand, of maintaining backwards compatibility with stuff that is inherently broken. And to give you a good idea of what I'm talking about here, the fact that they will not fix print bold. And now here's the thing: I knew print bold was broken, and I'm really pissed at myself for not reporting the bug sooner, because I wasn't that involved in the community back in the day. I should have reported this, because now print bold basically, instead of print, which does it per player, like let's say you shoot an enemy and it calls the print function from ACS. The print function will print something to the screen based on who shot the player. Print bold will play it for everyone. That's at least what it's supposed to do. But now it basically print bold. Well, it doesn't do that by default. You have to enable it in map info, which I think is, pardon my, possibly, I'm not the most politically correct person here, but it's retarded. I'm sorry. It's just fucking stupid. Like, you make a function that's intended to work a certain way, and you make leave it broken. I'm sorry. There's probably a lot of mods that rely on the fact it's meant to work on. What about them? What about the mods that are purposely written to make print bold work as intended? And you're just breaking those mods too, because the sake that maybe like there might be 0.5% of mods out there that rely on the print bold function not working. You're basically sacrificing that. You don't. You're not thinking about how it was supposed to be used. Print bold, due to an oversight, was coded wrong. Now it should be corrected. You shouldn't force modders or scripters to basically use a keyword in map info to fix the broken function. That's just stupid to me. As I said, they're trying to modernize GZ Doom, but they're keeping stuff that's broken. And basically they're a lot of it I think comes down to um that Doom. They won't want to bring any of the old Doom stuff, and I get that. But people have been submitting fixes for these Z Doom and GZ Doom derived projects, and it's just yeah, it's um I'm sure they could be updated. I'm sure they could be fixed. Like people could probably, even if they're not the one that made a project, they could fix the project and say, if there's something wrong with ACS library where it does use print bold or whatever, um, someone could probably really easily fix the maps or the ACS library. And I think that's pretty simple to do, especially since it's usually common practice to um, retain the ACS scripting, the script itself, and not the compiled object. Oh, dearie me. It really genuinely bothers me that on one hand, they're trying to be forward compatible, but on the other hand, they're trying to um, keep this old stuff that's broken for the sake of being compatible with old stuff, and I think that's sad. Like, why not? Why I could think of better ways of doing it. Like, for example, if there's a mod, like if you really want to, you could basically make it like game mods. Like, there's already compatibility lump. Why not just flag certain maps or WADs that are compatible with certain things or another, and do that, and make the default behavior what it's intended to be. I don't know why people have not done that. People have contributed to the project. I'm not trying to start drama. I'm not trying to spur up shit. I'm not trying to Um, I'm not trying to, um, get anyone angry at me. These are just things that bother me about the engine myself, and I'm trying to um, explain. It's kind of what one of the reasons it's frustrating to use this engine. As much as I do sincerely like and respect several of the people involved in the community, from administration and staff to just other users like myself, I just I have a reservation about some of the decisions being made, but it's not my place to decide. However, I have to also decide what I need to do going forward. The thing is, GZ Doom is about all I know. I've always considered myself a game designer, but not much of a programmer. I just happened to learn decorated Z script by necessity. I and ACS the same way. I honestly, every time I try to do something in C++ or C sharp, it just becomes daunting. Like I just honestly, and don't even get me started on Java. Like all of the programming languages out there have their pitfalls and whatnot. It's not a matter of what library or whatever language you choose. It's what you can do with it. I do see that, but the thing is, I would need to invest a lot of time in learning a new programming language or learning one I've already known. The biggest problem with that is I simply do not want. Um, Let me put it this way: daytime drama and its was to be sequel is basically the only other engine that could possibly do something like it is the build engine, and I have spoken to people who use like eDuke 32. I'm still acquainted with quite a few people, including Hendrix 266. But when I look at the con scripting, it's absolutely daunting, even more so than Z script. In fact, in order to get a working palette, Hendrix 266 had to help me out a lot. But the thing is, I don't even know if it thing is, I don't even know just how to get a basic. Um, like I know I can figure out the level editor easy peasy, but I don't really know if I could figure out the con scripting, especially excuse me, especially for shit I want to do. The biggest problem I have with scripting is it's meant to be a modern scripting language for making modern things, but it has several limitations that the conscripting, on the other hand, is basically the same way it was with Duke Nukem 3D and eDuke, with just a lot of added features. But because it's not really the most elegant language, I've considered using the build engine eDuke 32, but it's so daunting, and using tiles, like trying to add tiles into it, is painstaking, and I don't even know if it would really work. You know, my biggest problem is GZ Doom's just so easy to use, like and there's really easy ways of just adding stuff. You don't even have to be you don't even have to, all you have to use is if you Z slide modify the ping offsets. Outside that, you could pretty much use whatever the hell you want with it. You use Photoshop, Paint Shop Pro. I use Adobe Animate or Flash, as it used to be called, for sprites. You could um, hell, you could even do stuff like what my friend Watch the Toe slash MS Paint Rocks does, and just do things in MS Paint. And it's just really easy. But the thing is, the more and more I think about it, the more that's limiting. Like a lot more games are unfortunately are going 3D, and not a lot of other modern engines easily support 2D high res sprites, which is what I use. I've looked into other engines and Unity being one of them, but I just can't wrap my head around it. The just it just it's so daunting for me, and I think that's one of the reasons I stuck with GZ Doom for so long. It just works, but the more and more I work at it, the more my map editing skills lack. I mean, that's the only dedicated tool you need is like GZ Doom Builder, Bug Fix, or Doom Builder X or something like that, right? You don't need anything else other than that unless you're modifying or adding sprites. And then Slade basically comes in about, but that's about it. My biggest problem is as someone trying to make levels, script everything, program everything, which I use scripting and programming changeably, and I'm just finding it more and more daunting to do all this stuff alone. If I could get someone to help with the level design, Daytime Drama 2 might stand a chance. But as of right now, and this is where I've been building up to, Daytime Drama 2 is going to be on the back burner. I'm not going to be working on it, and I don't even know if it's going to keep its current form. There's just several things I don't like about the way Daytime Drama 2 is being made. Now, let me first say some good news. Daytime Drama 1 has reached version 1.01 as of this recording. And I'm not gonna lie, Daytime Drama version 1.01, I never thought I would see the day. My friend and composer for Daytime Drama 1, Rod Scorpion, has released on his Bandcamp, and I'll link to that in the video below, in the video description below. He has written and completed the score. He took a while on this, but it was worth it, you know. But the thing is, because of that, a lot of people didn't know that he was going to be doing a Bandcamp release. Now that he's done a Bandcamp release, not a lot of people have taken note. So I'm going to plug him down below, and I'm also, you know, if I can, I'll add an annotation somewhere if I can figure out how to do that. Editing this video in post is probably going to be a pain since I'm just directly uploading it to Waffle Iron, not Waffle Iron Studios, not Waffle Iron Archives, my personal YouTube channel. The sad thing is, there's a lot of blood and sweat and tears that went into Daytime Drama 1. Um, I want to do like a Reddit Ask Me Anything about Daytime Drama 1 because it has become a cult classic in my eyes. There's a lot of people who love it because it's a shit post. There's a lot of people who love it because it's Duke Nukem 3D in a lot of ways. A lot of people like it despite it's short because it has really good levels. A lot of people like it because it has a weapon that's literally made of Homestuck trolls. There's all sorts of reasons people like it, and I would like to answer any questions anyone has. I could talk about that because it has a very long, good, bad, and downright ugly and depressing history to it. In fact, it's one of the things I've been asked a lot by people is like by people who have started to know me and they've come to the ask me questions about. One of the things they say is, how did you do this all on your own? And the question is, well, I didn't. I mean, I did a lot of it on my own, but if it weren't for Rod Scorpion, I wouldn't have any music. If it weren't for my friend Ashley, or ZZT, I'm not sure what he likes to go to by nowadays, making the voice for Hella Jeff and me without filter voicing Sweet Bro. Um, that kind of worked in tandem. As much as I hate my voice without the filter, I do use the filter for privacy, and I hate my real voice. But it kind of worked for Sweet Bro, so I was like, you know, I'll let the dysphoria slide because I can sort of hear it's not my voice, it's Sweet Bro. Um, and my friend Brad, Innocent Dark Side, um, he did Don Travel the Dolphin's voice. And my friend Kelsey, before Mac crashed, um, did a lot of the assets, like a lot of the billboards, a lot of the posters. She's currently doing live blogging of Homestuck on Miss Finefeather, her Tumblr blog, which if you're interested in seeing someone's live reactions to Homestuck as they read it and various other things, I would check out her Tumblr. I personally can't really get through Homestuck. I'm a bit of a poser. I never really got into Homestuck. I know the characters, but I don't stuff. I don't know any. I don't know that deep about it. All I know is the trolls have different blood types on, and that's how the troll blood device came to be. Although in kind of a body horror fashion, as you can see with if you play the game daytime drama. But daytime drama is very much a game that of its time. A lot of the content is circa 2013, and a lot of the game content is a sign of not just where I was then, but kind of where I am now. And maybe one of the reasons I find daytime drama too hard to make is because there's just no way I think I can top daytime drama one unless I make it bigger. And the thing is, that means more levels. Daytime Drama 1 was, in a lot of ways, a game that I don't think could be made today. In fact, I'm surprised it was as successful as it was because there's just a lot of people that are way too sensitive about things nowadays. And I'm glad that a lot of people, the majority at least, of people who like Daytime Drama 1 aren't that easily, like, they're not upset at a lot of the content. Like, because I know Tumblr and parts of Twitter and YouTube and Reddit and 4chan can be very fucking hardcore. You know, pardon my words there, but I think that's one of the things that motivated me to make daytime drama more and more was just the rising tides of just how much game companies were becoming more and more monolithic and screwing people over. And here I'm just some trans woman trying to make a video game, and I don't even want to tout that as being why I think that, a lot of people will ask, like, my people who know me, what about your gender identity? And it's like, it doesn't matter. I'm just someone trying to make a game, right? I'm just someone trying to put a game out there using GZ Doom Engine. Although I do know a lot of people in the GZ Doom community and the Doom community in general who are LGBT, which I find kind of interesting. But um, I I'm not one of these people that I want to go around flaunting my identity. The only reason I bring it up is this was around the time I started really um, realizing who I was, figuring out my identity and the tides of depression. This was around the time Daytime Drama 1 started development right after my grandpa died, and it really, like, I started drawing stuff um, late 2013. I hit a depression spell after having a faint, after fainting due to arrhythmia in 2014. I was unable to drive I really think I could have drive, but in Ohio they don't like you driving if you have fainted or something in I think it's 6 months. And the problem was my grandma was the only one who could drive me outside my mom. I don't know what I would do if something were to repeat, and that's something that they've been concerned about is maybe my arrhythmia has returned. The thing is, my the LGBT thing is only just a portion of who I am, and my health problems are only a portion of who I am. But the biggest thing that contributed to the game's development was that was going through a time where the game development of Daytime Brahma, it started around the time Grandpa died, 2013. Grandpa Bob died of a stroke, and Grandma Sue had a stroke in late 2014. She died in 2015. Those were very bad years, 2013 to 2015. I had to move back to mom's place because I would have been homeless. A lot of people have asked, what was probably the biggest challenge of making this? I'd be like, well, the fact that the where you've been living basically is being put up for sale, and you basically have to fuck off, and that kind of interrupts the whole development cycle. In fact, that's actually one of the biggest problems with daytime drama was it had a really depressing, hectic development cycle. The worst thing about it is there's a I lost a lot of friends along the way. And in fact, right around the time daytime drama one hit, I had a falling out with a friend of mine um, over this political bullshit. I'm telling you, that did not help things. The whole political discourse from both the right wing and the left wing has become so hostile and so unforgiving. A lot of people do not understand how severe this is. It literally um, was so bad. It triggered my anxiety, something fierce. It made me fight with my mom a lot. It made me fear. It made me grow paranoid of my friends and all that. Some of them, though, however, it was for good reason, as I found out. But it wasn't really anything like because Trump won or Hillary didn't won. It was more the fact just how violent everyone has become and how hostile, and the fact that um, a lot of that shit basically like I don't like being a violent person. I've been always taught that violence is not an answer. It and that an eye for an eye makes the world blind. And that's what I've always believed, and I just can't really see myself being violent towards anyone, be it on the right or on the left. I just don't think it will solve anything. The thing is, this friend not only disagreed but attacked me in a lot of ways and accused me of trying to get them in a gotcha moment. Um, I've talked about this in a podcast that I'm in, but basically, I'm not that kind of person. The only I didn't even name drop them, and I won't name drop them in public because I not on that podcast, not on here because I simply refuse to stir up any drama. But it just shows just how much I had, I guess, matured as a person and how much other people did not. You have to excuse my cat; he's a bit playful. He can't really say hi because he's a cat, and I don't think he really gives a hoot. As far as he's concerned, I'm just doing something weird with the computer. Anyway, the thing that really made daytime drama so hostile in terms of like development is I'm honestly surprised it was able to have an audience because I wasn't really sure with the story where I was going, and that's why I think due to the way it was designed and developed and how I developed it in terms of being in such a dark spot, it's kind of a Dadaist shitpost. Yes, it has like an action story, like an action movie setup, but it's not really that deep. Sonya's not meant to be that deep of a character. Knight and the boss is meant to be kind of cartoonishly evil. All of them are, all of the bosses. But I think there is a very real motif through it in I'm going my character, my persona is literally going through the a valley of despair and death and she looks around and there's really nothing left. She's just trying to save her friends from this chaotic despair, and that's really something I guess that was subconscious. I didn't really even mean for it to be like I'm just like I'll just make my friends who I have to rescue. I wasn't trying to make any 4 deep 5 me kind of um, message. Like I don't want people reading into this as an allegory for anything specific. It was just I was going through a really bad time at the time of developing this. I mean, I'm still going through some rough times, and um, it's sad. But the thing is, I was able to make one project, and I'm proud of that. Now, so here's where I'm going with this. I will continue to maintain Daytime Drama 1 with bug fixes, and I plan on, once I can figure out getting some recommendations from people on how to redesign the HUD, there will probably be a big update for Daytime Drama 1 that I will fix the HUD. I know it's not the best looking HUD. It doesn't help it's still written in SBAR info, which is really horrible. Like, it's glad that we can edit status bars now in Z script. But my main gripe with how Daytime Drama 2 is going is I feel like writing more. Like, a lot of people are asking about, well, the daytime drama was great, but it could use some lore. And the more I'm thinking about lore, the more I'm thinking I could write, you know, extravagant crossover shit about this, and you know, But the thing is, I'm not writing it in terms to be, people have actually read some of my stuff and they think, this is actually pretty decently written. I know like crossovers are considered cringy, but I'm one of these people. It's like I don't consider a lot of things cringy. Like even cringy art, people are enjoying themselves. I just don't see why you should mock someone for having a good time. I mean, one of the, I even feel bad sometimes watching videos where kids are, well, that's kind of the thing is like kids like playing Minecraft, they're not enjoying themselves. They're having a horrible time and they're taking it out on other people rather than just simply closing the game and going to do something else. In fact, it's one of the things um, I do like a lot. If I'm not enjoying something, I go do something else. Um, Daytime drama to getting back to that. I feel like there is a universe I could talk about with this. I could draw stuff, I could write stuff, and I'm going to. That's the direction I want to take it. And um, Now I know a lot of people are looking forward to Daytime Drama 2 as a playable game, looking forward to um, maybe me doing, there's like going to be one of the characters from, and there was going to be another one from MS Paint Rocks, Watch the Toasts series, Wool Ball series. I was going to add Scott and Rebecca from, I already added Rebecca to Daytime Drama 2 as playable characters. I know there was even someone who offered and did voice for Peridot from Steven Universe, and another person who did Navy from Steven Universe, and um, Gertrude from I Hate Fairyland. And I get that there was a lot of people excited. And I'm sorry that I let you down. I mean, I normally don't apologize for things like that, but I know a lot of people were sincerely looking for looking forward to this. But right now, unless I can get some help on it, because it's getting really difficult to do everything. I really don't see it in the cards right now. As I said, for the reasons of not just GZ Doom's engine choices and certain things I'm afraid of with it. Although it's, as I said, it's not to the level of VR. I believe, yeah, there have been bad design choices, but not to the degree they do. It's I'm more, and also I just don't enjoy it as much as I used to. I find there's a lot of people who do shit they don't enjoy, and it makes them stressed out. Why should I do that to myself? I've got a lot of free time on my hands because I'm disabled. I don't do a lot. I didn't even do this for profit. The only profit I want to go into is if I want people to buy Rod Scorpion soundtrack if they can. I'm not pressuring you. It's not like if you play my game you have to buy a soundtrack, but it would be nice if you could, because he put a lot of time into it. In fact, if it weren't for him, I don't think the game would have the soul it does, because otherwise it was just going to have weird um, midis from various sites, and just having his soundtrack really helps. And he's basically let me use this composition in my game, and he wrote it for the game, so and the thing is that his Bandcamp's all the stuff is uncut. Not it doesn't loop and all that. It's a feature length album. Yes, it's $17, but there's a lot of the music's long. All the tracks are long. Um, and um, I think that if you like the music as it is in the game, you can get the lossless CD quality version straight from him at Bandcamp, and it would mean a lot to me if you enjoyed the game and can spare $17. Buy the soundtrack. You can stream it from Bandcamp. You can download it. Do what I even bought it because even though he's like um, even though I paid him, he was paid him some money to help speed up things. So I'm like, dude, I just feel bad that I couldn't pay you pay you enough, and he didn't mind, but I'm like, but he's like, you have the files for free. Why did you buy? I'm like, I just wanted him to know he was that good, that I was willing to buy music, even though I was giving it to free. I'm like, I'm not buying this free. I'm not just gonna take, I feel like, um, that's just how I roll. I try to support people who are good at stuff, or at least I don't like doing something for nothing. A lot of the voice actors, including Spoopy Scary Scara, who's a dear friend of mine, who did some of she's done the one-liners for Sonya in Daytime Drama 1, and she I reimbursed her with a few Steam games here and there, because she really likes playing games like that, and because of her the game had more life. I think I bought ZZT a few pizzas here and there. And I really just feel like it's not a the game itself is going to um, it's in a state right now where if something were to happen to it to me, it could continue on as being this cult classic, and I'm fine with that. I'm still going to try to update as much as this. I'm not completely leaving the GZ Doom community. I want to keep, you know, updating daytime drama. As I said, the HUD needs fixed. Um, I'm just not sure how to do a good HUD for it. The other thing I got to do is daytime drama um, could benefit from maybe some skyboxes, but these are things that are relatively low priority for me at least. The one thing I will say is daytime drama um, 2 for now is definitely on the back burner, and I'm sorry about that, but I just right now I'm going through some more depression. As I said, I'm not enjoying the process with easy doing modding as much, and um, I just feel like that's going to make the quality of the project suffer, especially since I'm the only one really working on it. There's been a few people who have helped with debugging certain things, but most of the stuff is outside of voice acting has been me. And for now, I just don't feel like working on Easy Doom stuff as intensely as I used to. Daytime Drama 1, I will, keep updating. Now that it's out of beta, I feel like, it's not as in, it's, if it's not on a top priority right now. As I said, I'll update the HUD once I figure out a good design for it. But the thing is, um, I know a lot of people were looking forward to it, and the thing is, I got a lot of subscribers after Icarus Lives covered Daytime Drama 1. So I'm going to um, I'm going to suggest a few things, and let me know in the comments what you think. One of the things that I um, want to talk about is I'm going to turn this channel into maybe um, into something else. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I'm thinking about taking streaming on Twitch or here. The problem is I'm not going to do it for money or anything. I'm just going to do it for fun. Um, the thing that concerns me though is the fact that Twitch and YouTube tend to be very censor happy when you so much as do something that the algorithms don't like. And I heard on Twitch you curse a lot, it can get you in trouble, which I think is a bit ridiculous. I really, and you can't really. My type of humor might not be allowed on Twitch. Even I'm not gonna lie, I think that's a bit much. I mean, like I see a lot of things on social media that aren't I find just simply disgusting, and they're allowed to run rampant. And that's kind of why I'm thinking about maybe doing that. But the other thing I want to do is maybe do a live stream like this, but enable chat, and you all can ask some questions. Um, I'm not sure exactly how that would work because, as you can see, it's basically just been my hand in the shot a few times, and Pipimi and Papuko. Sorry, this is Pip, this is Papuko. This is Pipimi. This is where it gets long. But you see, that's the thing. I really just I want to do this. I just want to do something different. Right? The thing is, I hate my voice. I hate my looks. So doing one of these, how to, what I'm thinking is, I might draw something. I might stream me drawing something. That's something I can do. The thing is, I'm obviously on. I'm just doing this from my laptop looking. Say hi, Bunky. The thing is, I don't want. Thing is, I don't want people. You know, I still on. The thing is, I don't want people to start. On one hand, I don't want people to start leaving just because I quit daytime drama, but I know what people came here for. They wanted to see more about daytime drama 1 and 2. I will be releasing a video showcasing daytime drama 1 off, like, from my point of view. I may even do, as I said, maybe that could be one of the things I do to stream my own game, just show, comment on things I see, uh, things that are and answer any questions you've got. So I said, suggest to me things that you would like to see, and I'll try to take a general consensus and work with that. Daytime drama. So basically, the gist of this is I have qualms with the GZ Doom engine as it is right now. A lot of these things are beyond my control. Daytime Drama 1 came out, so the soundtrack. Again, I will link that um, um, in the description below. Um, or you can check out the thread on ZDoom forum that's linked there too, the soundtrack. Um, Daytime Drama 2's on a long hiatus because of several reasons, from depression to not enjoying the modding process anymore. And I want to turn this channel into something else. I want to turn the channel into this is the thing is I'm really not like I'm one of these people. I'm very private when it comes to stuff. I really don't like talking about everything in my life. In fact, me just talking about things like what's some of the Rocky history, but that just the Rocky history stuff is kind of what shaped the mod project in order to what it became today. So it's kind of necessary. The other thing is I want to be able to talk. You know, I want to be able to have some privacy. And one of the things I'm concerned about is pissing off the wrong people. The thing is, as I said, uh, social media can be a very antisocial place, and it's just unfortunate because there's a lot of good people out there. I mean, I don't care what people on VR say or what people on who have been banned from Z2 forums say. For the most part, the administration's been very good to me. I'm sure if they were as horrible as people say, my project would have been banned on the spot, but they're like, no, 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 it's a cool. In fact, a lot of the people I looked up to actually, including Emma St. Rocks, who I've become a dear friend of since, um, liked it. He really um, was really big help on bouncing some ideas off of, and I helped him with Rise of the Wolf Ball a little bit. He even thanks me, I think, on one of the web on this web page, if not in the actual page. I still need to finish that game 100%, mainly because the reason I haven't is it's kind of I'm not used to the jumping mechanics. Shadow of the Wool Ball was entirely like Wolfenstein 3D. Rise of the Wool Ball was entirely like Rot, including the jump pads, which are mushrooms. I thought that was a clever mechanic. But anyway, what I'm getting at is my modding career. It's starting to become. Then this is what really is the big thing. I'm going to start writing and drawing more. I'm going to maybe stream a few games here and there. I'm also probably going to be outside unless it's like a Q&A where people mention you know relevant questions or questions that strike my fancy, or it's on the Radio Rothingham podcast, which I'm sure a lot of people go look that up and immediately just assume the worst about me. Trust me, the Radio Rothingham guys are cool. They've been they've been very respectful of me. They've been really they just you know their views are a lot more in line with mine. I'll do tell you it is a bit political, but we're a bit more lighthearted about it. And we kind of mock any kind of political nonsense we see on the left or on the right. And I kind of like it. I was ascended to a co-host on it. So I've been doing that a lot more. The thing is, I've also been playing a lot of Overwatch with these people, and um, the Artrix is, a really good friend of mine. And over the years, we've, grown closer. And I was actually going to go out to Europe to see him, but for one of his vacations, but we money got tight for me, and there's also health problems, and they do a lot of hiking on his, the meetups with that he does these vacations with. So I was kind of afraid to put my health in danger, especially since I'd be out of the country, and we all know how United States medical system is. Oh, topical, huh? Uh, Fuck me. Um, and it's unfortunate I didn't get to see him. The thing is, I do want to state that I mean no harm or ill will towards the DZ Doom community at large, neither to the administrators or to the moderators or the developers. I'm still good friends with a lot of them. I mean, I become good friends with Rachel. Yeah, she and I don't agree on everything, but I think that's the thing. She and I realize we aren't going to agree on everything, but we do agree on a lot of things, and we try to be respectful of that. And a lot of people, I think, don't really understand, like, some of the things that, like, say, she has seen, and, you know, yeah, I know she probably has some political opinions I don't agree with, but you know what? She probably has the same about me, but we're still friends. I'm not gonna quit a friendship over some political disagreement. I mean, it's not like I'm a neo-Nazi. It's not like she's a full-on communist. It's not like that. I'm tired of this black and white thinking. In fact, that's one of the things I want to state. Yeah, I have disagreements with how DZ Doom's direction is going, but it doesn't mean I hate any of you. I don't even hate Graph. Yeah, I may poke at fun at him a lot, and if whenever I talk to people individually, but I don't mean any ill will towards him. He is obviously putting his heart into DZ Doom, and I just want to see the engine be better. I think there's several things it could do better. Like, I get the whole deprecating older hardware and OpenGL versions. I get trying to, you know, make it modern, but as I said, parts of the engine are not modern. They're completely broken for the sake of compatibility with older stuff, which I don't get. I think that's, you got to start thinking, is this truly modern, or is it just pseudo modern with dibble dabbles of code that really shouldn't make sense the way it does? And as I said, the whole print bold thing I think is just ridiculous. But as I said, I do not mean any ill will towards you people. I wish you all the best. I am going to keep in contact, and I'm still going to be around on the official Discord. I lurk there. I don't really post much unless I have a question or if I'm there to answer someone else's question. Um, I will be there still because everyone needs a home on the internet. That's the closest thing I got. Because I've been on a lot of servers, but that's I'm not just gonna get out of Dodge now that my project's been a success. I want to help other people if I can. Anyway, the other thing I'm going to talk about before I go is um, This was one question that I did get on daytime drama, and I want to answer it right now. Full stop. Because I put Dontrell the Dolphin in daytime drama, does that mean I support Shmorky and what they did? The answer is full on no. I actually made, well, I didn't make, but asked my friend Brad, my roommate Brad, to voice Dontrell the Dolphin, and he does a really chillingly good job. Specifically, so I could make sure there were no traces of Shmorky's voice. No traces at all. I abhor what Shmorky did. What they did was despicable and gross. And I think torturing someone by keeping their meds away from them is just horrible. I know I condone what Shmorky did. I saw a few people posting that, and that I'm a Schmorky fan. I'm not. I'm not anymore. Not after what I saw them do. The sad thing is, I know that's probably going to still be out there despite me clarifying it. I mean, I see people apologize for things and then they just basically, people ignore it. You can't really. Sometimes you just can't win with these people. But hey, I put it out there. I'm not a fan of them anymore, and I'm just not going to tolerate that kind of stuff. Anyway, this it's gone over an hour. This has gone on longer than I expected. I'm going to wrap this up. Hopefully, the audio quality is good. Um, I'm sorry I rambled a bit. I'm really am, but I didn't write a script for this. I just was thinking off the top of my head. Yeah, I'm very sorry if this. You can unfollow me or unsubscribe from me. That's your choice. But if you stay around, I'm gonna try to make the best of this. And I do appreciate people following me and wanting to see more of what I'm doing. And as I said, maybe I'll take up maybe doing streams every once in a while of either drawing, gaming, or asking and answering questions. And the thing is, I want to thank you all for being here for the development of Daytime Run 1 and 2. Unfortunately, 2 is on hiatus for now. I will see you guys around.